Hi there folks, welcome to this week's weekly Forex forecast. The last Forex forecast of the year is Monday the 20th of December. We had a whole bunch of central bank speakers last week. Markets were very volatile, lots of surprises. UK raised their interest rates completely unexpected. The rest of the field were pretty much in line. Expecting this week to be reasonably quiet in the run-up to the festive period and the new year, although there are certain things going on at the moment. Of course, clearly the spread of the Omicron variant is the biggest factor that we have to consider. Are we going to have more lockdowns, more restrictions? Not necessarily because of more people unfortunately passing away, but obviously industries are having to close down because their staff aren't able to turn up for work. All this is affecting the stock market, and the stock markets at the moment are under a little bit of pressure. We saw a drop of almost 4% in the last few days in the S&P 500 alone. Let's have a quick look now at what we're looking at this week in our Forex forecast. Come on. Okay, so I want to start off by looking at the old faithful momentum meter. This basically tells me exactly where the money is currently flowing in the Forex markets. Now, as I often say, it doesn't predict the future, unfortunately, but it does tell me exactly where we are at this moment in time. And of course, you can drop this down to lower time frames as well. Great little tool if you are even considering scalping on the lower time frame charts. Looking here down at the 15-minute time period chart, you see at the moment all the money in the last 15 minutes is flowing into the pound, and the money is flowing out of the Japanese yen and the Canadian dollar. Maybe if you're scalping, you might be wanting to look at that. Anyway, I like to look at this on a higher time frame chart, the 4-hour chart. Basically tells me the big picture at the moment. And this is painting one picture, and it's painting a picture of risk off. Risk off basically means money is coming out of the riskier assets. And when that happens, you often see the low yielding, the safe haven funding currencies like the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, even the euro, they tend to get bid when you have this risk off environment. And the commodity currencies, the high beta currencies like the Canadian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, all come under pressure. And that's exactly what is happening at the moment. Also, if you look at oil prices at the moment, oil prices are dropping, are down about 4% in the last 2 or 3 trading days, and that is having an effect here on the loonie, on the Canadian dollar. You see this purple line at the moment. So Canadian dollar is a currency that maybe we should be looking at selling, and maybe we should be looking at buying this Japanese yen, the Swiss franc as well. The dollar is holding its own also as a safe haven currency. And here you've got the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar hugging each other at the moment. The two key commodity currencies, they are trading lower. We like to buy strong currencies and we like to sell weak currencies when we are trend following. Let's have a quick look here at the stock market. Okay, so this is a daily chart of the S&P 500, the top 500 companies traded out in the US. It's one of the main benchmarks indices that we look at. And you see here we've had quite a big drop since the highs just last week, dropped down almost 5%. But we basically stalled at the previous level of resistance. Often when we're trading, old levels of resistance on the way down act as support, and old levels of support act as resistance on the way back up. And that's exactly what's happened here at the moment. We have stalled. So this is a crucial level that I'll be looking at to see if we are going to have a continuation of this risk off theme. If the stocks trade lower into today and tomorrow, and we break and close this level of support, which comes in here at around 4,550 on the S&P 500. If we break and close below here, I would expect to see a further move into the next level of support, which doesn't come down, doesn't come in until around 4,300. That will definitely be risk off. That will definitely see some support coming into the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, and you'll see the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar come under pressure. So take your clues. I'm taking my clues from the stock markets this week. Break and close of this key level of support. We'll see a continuation of the risk off theme. Let's have a quick look at our economic forecasts for the week. Okay, so head over to forexsignals.com website. Scroll right down to the bottom. This is where you see all our free tools, pivot point calculators, lot size calculators, and so forth. You'll see here the Forex forecast. Click on there. Now, when you head over to this page, you will see a field that you can fill in your email address to. That basically will ensure that you get sent this Forex forecast the moment that it gets released. You'll see it on your version. All right, let's have a quick look at what we're looking at. Okay, so I'm looking here at a pound against the Swiss franc, looking particularly at this bearish pin bar rejection that we saw just last week, came right back into that support zone. As I said, old support acting as resistance, respected it with a really healthy looking inverted hammer candle. That shows you that this momentum now for the pound higher has run out of steam and it's stalling. Looking at it against a risk off currency, i.e. the Swiss franc, makes for a decent play, decent risk reward, certainly by taking this trend lower. Looking down at the 121 level as the first level of support. I'm also looking at the coronavirus spreading and the Aussie yen, a typical risk off play in the currency markets, weaker Australian dollar and a stronger Japanese yen. 79 is the level I'll be looking at there. Again, a break and close of this support, as you're seeing again in the stock market, could indicate that this wants to carry on its descent and find yearly support back down there at around that level, which doesn't come in fact until around 77.85, but very possible if indeed we do have further capitulation lower. Max is looking at a trade in platinum. He's bearish on platinum down to the level of 89.20. Looks a little bit like my Aussie yen chart, doesn't it? So that is his play, and we've got the bearish bias for that. And he's also looking at stocks. He's looking at the tech stocks, which is the Nasdaq. He's looking at that coming under pressure again as the risk-off mood gathers pace in the markets this week in the run-up to the festive season. Looking at 15,500 as his level. Again, another break and close lower, as we saw there on the S&P 500. So all charts looking reasonably similar, taking your lead from the stock market. Let's have a quick look now at the economic calendar for the week. Not a busy week. Just have a quick look and see what's about. So back to the main page again, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see with all our other giveaways, you'll see the Forex economic calendar. Click on that, view calendar. Basically tells you what is coming out for the week ahead. Anything that's deemed to be high impact news, likely to have a big impact on the markets, will be deemed red. Anything low impact would be deemed to be green. I like to look out for the next 7 days as well to see what's coming up this week. We've got GDP coming out of the US in the middle of the week. Again, not a lot coming out this week. A lot of green data. Lots of news coming out, but not big drivers. As you say, we had a big week last week for central banks and PMI data and so forth. Got a bit of durable goods data. These are the durable goods. That's the white goods like the washing machines and so forth. Normally quite a good barometer that. People are only normally replacing their white goods and durable goods if they're confident about their jobs and so forth. It's like an early signs of inflation and confidence in the economy as well. So we do pay attention to that. Not such a big one. Something out there in China, which I'm not paying too much attention to. So quite a quiet week on the economic front. You can get hold of this calendar, as I say, by heading over to the forexsignals.com website. Okay, hope you found that useful. Don't forget you can subscribe to the Forex Forecast. Just leave your name and email in this field here, and it'll be sent directly to your inbox. Don't forget you can follow us here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you don't already do so, and of course follow us on all those socials as well. Let me take this opportunity to wish you and your family a very pleasant festive period if indeed you celebrate it, and we'll see you in the new year. Have a good one.